Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a comic haul. If you're watching this, then FallCon is already over, most likely. And unfortunately I couldn't make it this year. I wasn't able to make it to SpringCon either. So I'm a little sad about that because that's kind of the convention I buy stuff at. But I made it to Wizard at least. Wizard didn't have much to buy, so I'm kind of really bummed out I wasn't able to make it this year, but whatever, what happens, happens. Anywho, I got some new comics and some half-price books finds, so cool anyways. So first off, I got All New X-Men number 32. Pretty cool. They meet up with Miles Morales. It's another kind of filler issue, but still pretty cool. Love All New X-Men. You gotta get the story down or wouldn't work well. Next off, I picked up a few of these on eBay. I picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 1. I'm trying to catch up on the series. Unfortunately, for some reason, I got this one in a lot with some other books, but you can see someone's like fingerprints. They got like sweaty when they touch the book and it shined on. You can actually tell it's fingerprints really vividly right there, which is a bummer and kind of weird, but I got the plain, no variants or anything. Cool. It's actually a really good book so far too. But going on, I picked these up at Source 1.1. Very cool story. Essentially, it's like between, well, a little bit after Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, how did that get fucked up? Whatever. Essentially, it's between Amazing Spider-Man, or Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man number 1, with some other stuff in between. But pretty cool. Amazing Spider-Man 1.2. And I love these Alex Ross covers. $1.3. I'm not going to put them down all the way. But yeah, so this is actually a really good story. Essentially, it's about Peter Parker kind of learning how to be Spider-Man. It's pretty cool. I would definitely suggest reading it. But this is between Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man number 1. It almost works as a 1 point better for like the original series, but obviously that's not the case. Very cool covers. This is actually my background on my phone. I really like that cover. It's really cool. And they got like the very classic Spider-Man feel, but painted by Alex Ross, so that's badass. And finally, oops, 1.5. And Dan Slott's still writing those. I know some people are kind of iffy on Dan Slott, but whatever. Alright, going on to issue 2. I got this in the same lot as I got issue 1. Very cool Electro cover. Some of these Ramos covers I really like, but some of them sometimes I just don't like his art. I don't really like how he draws Doc Ock's girlfriend when he was Peter Parker. She looks weird and whatever. But everything else looks pretty good. Number 3. And this is a really good series right now. I was really impressed, but Learning to Crawl is so much better even than the normal series. But a lot of like Black Cat stuff going on. They also introduced a new character named Silk, and she was bit at the same time as Peter Parker. Number 4. And then you can actually see her getting bit there. She got bit on the leg in the book though, but it's more dramatic on the cover, I guess. And then the one big thing about Original Sin is Spider-Man kind of gets called into action to help out the Avengers. My biggest problem is he doesn't really help the Avengers so much as he goes there, and then he's like, "Wow, this girl exists." Because if you were reading the story, the Watcher kind of like was able to give him some visions of times they were lied to and stuff, and Peter Parker figured out about Silk, and then just kind of ditched the Avengers. Like, they kind of just used the Original Sin gimmick and title, but whatever. Number 5, this is one of my favorite covers, like, of the week at least. You can see Silk back there with Black Cat and Electro. I actually didn't notice that the first time. And finally, number 6. This was all on eBay. I got them all for $12 total, so I'm not that mad that I got like the little like weird handprint thing on the one. I'll probably just replace it with like a sketch variant. I was actually gonna get the sketch variant and get it sketched at Comic-Con, but I didn't buy it, which is a good thing because now I couldn't go. But okay, so those were the Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Verse is about to start, and there's these Edge of the Spider-Verse books coming out in anticipation. Each one's like a one-shot featuring different characters. So we got Spider-Man Noir, Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman. That's a cool idea. It's always cool to see Spider-Woman, or not Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy. And finally, Aaron Aikman's Spider-Man. Interesting thing about this was all done by one guy, or at least the art and writing on it, which is cool. But yeah, pretty cool looking series there. And to top off my Future's End covers, first off I picked up The Flash, number 1, Future's End. Flash to New Flash, which I assume is the Wally West Flash, because that looks like the new Wally West. Cool. I haven't read that yet. And next off, Teen Titans. I've been liking Teen Titans. It's not very far into it, but oh, I really like the art in Teen Titans too. Some of those these Future's Ends are kind of iffy. I don't love them all that much. The Batman cover. I was gonna try and get this one signed at the convention too, because usually Pat Gleason's there. So you guys can tell I'm a little bummed about that. Oh, looks like there's a new Robin, or at least on this first page. I'm not gonna spoil it for myself. I'll get back to it. Cool. Next up, I picked up Daredevil Man Without Fear, the Mark Waid run, number 32. So I've been trying to pick up the old Daredevil series, like the one that went to like from like the 60s to like 98 when Bendis took over, I think. That one. But I had to pick, mostly trying to get that, and then I'll pick up the other runs to kind of fill it in, but I had to pick up this just for the cover alone. Kind of like a Universal Monsters parody. Like, I just love the art style alone, and like the old pitchfork thing and Daredevil's with them. It's just really badass. That's really just a cool homage to Universal Monsters. Nice little nod. So I'm gonna move these books off to the side. Just get them out of the way. And let's go on to my half-price books haul. I went with my friend Wolfie, who just started to collect comics. So I did throw him a couple bones. I gave him some. Well, I'll show you in a second. I'll get to that. Where did that first? Oops, I threw one out of order. On accident. Whatever. Or a couple books are out of order now. But first off, I picked up Superman Man of Steel, number 13. And the Man of Steel is back, and it's Steel. I don't know if this is actually his first appearance as Steel or what, and it looks like the poster's still in there. But for a quarter issue, I can't complain. Or so for a quarter issue, I can't complain. Pretty good condition too. I have most of those, and I know they're not rare or expensive or whatever, but they're still cool. Then the Legacy of Superman number 1, 64-page giant. Very cool. And that's done by Dan Jurgens. And then I found a bunch of these quarter Spider-Man books, but my friend Wolfie, who I went with, he is pretty much only into Spider-Man. So I threw him a bone and I let him pick up, I split the quarter issues with him. I called dibs I called dibs on one book, but then we just kind of took turns picking them out, back and forth, because I found them. But I thought I'd throw him a bone. Give them some. So we went like 50-50 on these, but I picked up 192, and these are actually out of order, the Spectacular Spider-Mans. Well, the rest are in somewhat of an order. Next I have Spider-Man 54, and this is when I think this is Ben Reilly as Scarlet Spider. It says in the shadow of Kane, so I think he's gonna fight Kane. That's pretty cool. Who's the current Scarlet Spider? Then there's 55, Spider-Man. And the ones he got were all the Scarlet Spider-Mans, pretty much. Because he's in Scarlet Spider-Man. Or Scarlet Spider. And then number 62. That's it for that first, or for the Spider-Man run. And then we actually got to Spectacular Spider-Man, like main series. 194. I like this cover a lot. $195. Another awesome cover. This is 224. Brought to Justice, and I assume that's Ben Reilly lifting Kane, not the actual Peter Parker. I don't know. I haven't read those yet. And then that's it for Spectacular Spider-Man. So about the other half of these books I gave to Wolfie. And then Spider-Man Unlimited number 9. Thick book. Very cool. He's fighting Hobgoblin, Vulture, Sinister Six of the time. And finally, Web of Spider-Man 118. In a dynamic new costume, the Clone's first solo adventure. And the first anniversary of Venom. Web of Spider-Man 118. Very awesome book. That's the one I called dibs on. Yeah, I know, kind of douchey of me, but whatever. I actually gave him the last haul I got, or a couple hauls ago, I don't remember. I got the first appearance of Gambit, not the Uncanny X-Men version, but the one that came out a month before that some people consider the first, some people don't. Kind of weird on that, but I saw that one. Mine's like a really good condition. Mine's like near mint, but the one that I found was like a 7.0 and it was $1. And I was like, yes, I'm so glad I have this. Now I can have 2 copies. And then Wolfie was standing there and I was like, damn it. And then I gave it to him. Which kind of hurts because I paid $15 like a week ago for that. Or like, it was like 12, but still, that's a lot for a book on me, especially when I just find it the next week. That is a time I should have waited, but you know, it worked out for both of us. I got a better copy, but he got a cheap copy. It works out, whatever. Solo Avengers featuring Hawkeye 15. And my next stack of quarter books actually excites me a ton. And since Wolfie only collects Spider-Man, I didn't share these with him. But like, I've actually looked at these on eBay and they go for like a couple bucks a piece. But first off, just imagine Stan Lee created Sandman with Walter Simonson creating Sandman. What? Who? Stan Lee even in that? Or writes that one? I don't know. Whatever. And then just imagine Stan Lee creates Shazam. And then just imagine Stan Lee's Catwoman. Actually, I'm going to go back and just kind of show you this more. I like the Shazam. Kind of interesting looking. These are also really changed. Obviously, I don't think they'd be changed this much. They'd be different, but they'd be more Marvelized. But I think they were just trying to be like, oh, look at this. It's how Stan Lee would actually do it. But Stan Lee's characters aren't like these super, like, weird characters. They just kind of seem like whatevers. Or like random characters. Then Stan Lee's Wonder Woman. And these are all standalone, I think. I don't know if there were ever sequels, like part 1, part 2. And then just imagine Stan Lee's Aquaman. I like this cover. And both of them are, all the sides are reversible too. I forgot about that. I'll show you. I'll go back and show you all these. And these were all a quarter a piece. Beautiful cover. I really like that. Kind of reminds me of like a Ray Harryhausen monster. Oh, one more. I forgot. Sorry. Sandman. Alrighty, so going on. Green Lantern. Very cool. I like how Green Lantern looks in this, actually. Kind of seems like his powers are kind of Nova-y based on that. Which is interesting, because Nova's kind of a ripoff of him. Just imagine Stan Lee's Flash. I don't know if Stan Lee's Flash would actually remind me of Speed Racer that much. But whatever. I like that back cover a lot, so I don't care. Just the front cover, I just don't love all that much. It kind of looks dumb. Oh, and then finally, of course, the one that you had to get, Stan Lee's Batman. Of course, we are missing Superman, but other than that, I think I might have the whole set. I'll probably look for the last couple. Then the back cover. Very awesome. And this one looks like... Oh, it actually is a man. I thought it was just straight up a bat, but no, that is a man. You can see down there. That's pretty cool. Kind of like if Black Panther was mixed with Batman. I like that idea. And then I picked up a couple of Silver Age books. They had them in their collectible markdown. Normally their collectible markdown is pretty high priced, but it wasn't. I got it marked down for a pretty cheap price. And it's good to get a few Silver Age books, because around here where I am, I don't have a store to get Silver Age anymore. I used to have a store that had really good, cheap Silver Age. They weren't always in great condition, but I like have some World's Finest from them. They're in really good condition that I picked up for $3-4, you know, like 50s, 60s, 70s books. But I really don't have anywhere to buy them anymore except like Fall Con and Spring Con, and that's the main reason I really wanted to go that and get some figures for cheap. Because I want to pick up figures, but now like $25 is just too much for me. I'm not willing to pay that much. Especially because I'm running out of shelf space too, so I'm just going to have to start storing them away. And I really like how my setup looks right now. So like yeah, unless I can find them cheap. I'd like to bulk up my Batman display a little. But I guess that's what SpringCon's going to be for. If I can make it, which I'm going to make it this time. But first off, I picked up World's Finest number 130. Is that 180 or 133? Can't read. There's a little scuff on it. I think it's 133, it looks like. 12-cent cover. Not in great condition, as you can see, but meet the greatest challenge in the Beast of the Supernatural. Just any of these copies look awesome. And even though it's beat up, it presents cool. And I have a pretty decent World's Finest collection. As I said, the comic store I used to buy from, great selection of World's Finest. I wasn't kidding about that. And I just got like a 1974, pretty much a yearly subscription. I can tell it's the subscription because it has the almost like fold, like how they kind of just bent them over and put them in the bag back in the day. And I got a whole straight run of 12 of those at a comic store a while ago for like $1 a piece. I'm just also going to try and raise up this camera quick. So World's Finest number 133. Very cool. Next up, Adventure Comics number 348. It's actually in really good condition around the corners. Until you hit there where it has like a cover crease. You can see. But the Legion has never battled a more awesome and powerful foe than fantastic Dr. Regulus in Target 21 Legionnaires. Usually when I've been finding a lot of Silver Age, like cheap Marvel Silver Age when I find them, and just books I don't care about all that much. So it's nice to finally get some of these DC books, and that's why I'm glad to get them. And next off, House of Mystery Dial H for Hero. I think his first appearance was in House of Mystery 156. And essentially, like, if you don't know who Dial H is, essentially, like, he's sort of like if you watch the Cartoon Network show Ben 10 at all. He's kind of like that. I haven't watched that show since, like, the original series because, like, it got pretty bad. And I don't have cable anymore. But kind of the same premise. So, essentially, he can change into a bunch of characters. And at first, I'm like, is this, like, a collabo book with and I didn't know a ton about him, but I didn't know if he was collaborating with Plastic Man, King Candy, and Giant Boy or what. But it's actually the first appearance of his King Candy form, and an old new hero. So essentially, he's coming back as Giant Boy, bringing that character back. And most interestingly, he turns into Plastic Man in this book. That interests me. That interests me because actually I've been a fan of Plastic Man. Not only from the Brave and the Bold show, but like I watched the Brave and the Bold show, and I was like, Plastic Man's kind of cool in my library, local library. Before I had like a decent comic collection, I used to just rent a lot of graphic novels from there, and they had like 6 archive edition Plastic Mans. It's like the only one they bought for some reason. They had like one Batman one, 2 JSA ones, and a Shazam one. But other than that, it was all Plastic Man. And I loved Plastic Man back in the day. So I was pretty excited to see this cover. Really cool Silver Age Plastic Man cover. But it's really cool. I actually really want to read this now just because that. And this one's in pretty decent condition. But the biggest problem is, like you can see up in the corner, it looks like almost like a coffee stain or something. And it's definitely an old stain because the stain is starting to sort of fade. But you still feel it, like how it was warped by the thing, which is a bummer. But I mean, it's the first appearance of King Candy, you know, so you gotta love that. So yeah, cool. King Candy, interesting form. And finally, Hawkman 15. These covers on these Hawkmans, and this was $4. These Hawkman covers are badass. Yeah, I think I actually have read this book before because I got the Showcase Presents Hawkman. I'm pretty sure I've read this one. Like I'm 99% sure I have. Looks familiar. Maybe I've just seen the cover, but I think I have at least volume 1 of Showcase Presents Hawkman. So pretty cool. Pretty cool looking book. I love the cover on this. But that's my haul. I always talk a long time about my books, but not a huge haul. So yeah, those are my books. I got some decent books, and I wanted to have some Silver Age on the way, but I couldn't. I'm thinking I'm not busy on Sunday. Unfortunately, I'm busy on Saturday, but I might take that Sunday that I'm not busy and invest my time into looking at some local stores, because apparently I've been looking around to try and find some new stores that I can hit up, and there's some that I haven't hit that are a little farther away than my other stores that I used to go to or do go to still. But I think it might be worth a time investment going out there because I really am looking for Silver Age books right now. Also, I hope in the next couple weekends to visit my friend who moved like 3 hours away for college. And up there they have a few comic stores. So I might find some stuff down there when I visit them in a couple weeks, but I don't know how much I'll actually have to spend down there because gas. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I can really think about, or think of. But some cool DC books. Really excited about those Stan Lees. Some good deals on those other ones. Again, I would say that would have been cool if I got that first Gambit, but I gave it to Wolfie. Which is fine. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching.